Welcome back to the channel. Uh, I'm happy, but sad and upset. All right. If you've been watching the channel in any aspect, I've been trying to do better things for people, myself, and I just feel like I failed today. I literally failed today uh, trying to do something positive. But by the same token, I learned a lot. When you get out there and you challenge nature and life, uh, you don't always win, but you can learn. So, what I learned today on this attempted adventure to get blue crabs for a disabled American veteran that is probably in need, and it would be a nice, kind repayment to his dedication to our country. But I failed. It was like, keep in mind, I'm in the Panhandle region. I'm relatively new to this region. You know, it's 6 months or whatever, maybe 7 months. I forget. It was around the end of October. Basically, let's call it 6 months because I was traveling back and forth. But to make a long story short, I'm used to crabbing where there's not a whole lot of uh, underwater ground obstructions. Usually it's a lot of sandy area and stuff like that. You might catch a log or something every once in a while, but where this little, I'm going to call it an inlet, because that's what we called it up north, or in different parts of Florida they call it a pass. You know, it was like a little canal leading out to the bay. There was, if you watch the video, there was a lot of these little, I'm going to call them small boulders or whatever, on the exterior side of the wall. The seawall was a little dilapidated. It probably needs to be updated for safety reasons, but it still looked like a good spot. I felt confident about that area, and it didn't take long to find out that the blue crabs were there, especially when I saw the neighbor across the street with some crab pots and stuff like that. So I felt confident there was blue crabs there. But when you're hand lining, like the method I was trying to use today, it was very difficult because picture, like, I'm going to try and give you in front of this camera the best visual example I can do, because I'm not an artist and I don't even have a writing whiteboard in my van. But picture if you had a flat bottom with sand, you could scoop up a crab, you know, and go from side to side or different things like that easily. But now, with that same example, I'm going to try and show you, like with this other hand, you have boulders, basically these rock boulders all over the channel. So it's great for the crab's survival and success, but it's very difficult for the the hand line crabbing fishermen. So what happens is these rocks, these boulders grow barnacles. They can fray your line, and it's just really hard to scoop. That's what I encountered today. And basically, hand lining is most of the time is a two-person method. Um, if you can get a vertical drop off of a dock that's a little bit deeper, I've seen a lot of videos. I've done it myself in different areas, but today's location was not conducive to that. It was very shallow. But if you can get a vertical pull and you can do it like that, then you can scoop with the other hand. But if you're dragging, let's say at a, I don't know, what you would call that, 30-degree angle or whatever, and you're dragging across your chicken leg that is zip tied to a hand line, you're going to encounter some snags, some boulders, and so that's kind of what I ran into today. Plus, the size of the net was not great, not what I'm used to. It just it was kind of cool to know the crabs are there. I either need to bring another individual with me or find a new location. I mean, that place is loaded with crabs. Uh, and when I talked earlier about the crabbing requirements, and one thing I forgot to mention, I thought about it later after I watched the rerun of the video, is I talked to you about the requirements to affix your identification number for each crab pot, crab trap, whatever you want to call it. And but the other thing is you need to have if you're going to set it out overnight, not off of a dock. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think you're okay if you set it off your own dock without a crab float attached to your, like a fishing cleat off your own dock. But if you're going to drop it in open waters, like public waters, Florida waters, you have to have a styrofoam float, and you have to signify that styrofoam float with like a Sharpie that would say "blee" or "blee" B, to indicate it's you're crabbing for blue crabs, and then your identification number of some sort. It could be part of your social security number, your identification number, whatever. But you have to still affix the identification number on your trap itself. But then if you were crabbing for stone crabs, if you have the same styrofoam float, which generally they're like 4 to 6 inches, and you would have to put S, indicating your stone crabber. So there's different requirements, different expectations for the FWC officers to visually inspect, stuff like that. So most of the time you're going to be pretty much okay. You just, it's kind of common sense. Just follow the basic rules. Most of the time, if you have a license and you're this and that, you're kind of like borderline, you're on the fringe of a violation. Most of the time, they're gonna run your record, see that if you haven't ever had any like myself, I've never had a fishing violation. But if they run your record and see that you're clean, you haven't poached 13 deers in the last 13 years or whatever it is, anything that's like ridiculous, they're going to cut you some slack usually. It's all how you talk to them. You can. It's just be respectful to the law enforcement, be compliant, just tell them why you're doing things. But basically, those are the regulations for crabbing. If you have an individual crab pot, some people call them crab trap, you have to have a styrofoam float, a rope indicating B or S, some type of identification number, like the last 4 digits of your social security number or whatever, all the information, your identification number on the affixed to the crab trap. And you have to make sure, here's another thing, most crab traps, most legal crab traps have these cylinders where the smaller crabs can escape and not be harvested, unethically. And it's also for bait fish and stuff like that to be able to escape. But they're just checking. They're, FWC, Florida Wildlife Commission, is just doing their job, trying to make sure you're in compliance with, state regulations. It's just to keep all the fishing industry and compliance, and otherwise it would be the wild wild west on the water, basically, so to speak. I don't like how these. I have two different eyes here. One's drooping, one's not. I don't know. What do I have? Bell's palsy or something? Like, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I know I'm extremely tired. But yeah, I failed. I tried to do something nice for a disabled American veteran. I sent him a text message. He has not replied yet, but I'm going to find a way to make it up to him. It's important to me. It's important to the values of the Lee and Betty Johnson Memorial Charity to help prevent people from being part of Mission 22, and the Reach Across America cause. So we can all do our part, one step at a time, one day at a time, one attempt at a time. It's attempt for doing a positive thing. It's like, I got a bunch of friends I group text with, and we bust each other's chops, but when it comes to the real deal, we get down to business. You know what I mean? It's life is a serious thing. It's a serious matter. So you have to respect it, try and honor it, give it dignity, even after its passing. Veterans deserve better. Memorial Day is coming up, so go over to @JJ Drones and watch what's coming up. Some special things are happening. @JJ Drones is one word. If you type it into your YouTube search engine, Memorial Day weekend is going to be something epic. I mean, when I tell you epic, it's like if you start something and you went, I'm going to show you the plateau of how his fundraising efforts have started like this, right here. This year is going to go like this. It's epic. Be part of it, man. Just get on the train. And the greatest thing, a lot of his YouTube channel is a train wreck. This part is not. This is a train to prosperity. Prosperity. I almost said prosperity. I'm making new snakelets here as I talk. Prosperity. Trains, it's going forward for the veterans. It's what it's all about. It's all about the veterans helping other people. Just find a way to do your part. I'm here once again at the river, looking at the river. I have freedoms. Because of the veterans that served and protected our nation, our country. That many of them died for our freedoms that I'm enjoying right now. So the least we can do is give back in some way, some fashion. If you have any ideas, go over to @JJ Drones, shoot him an email, and let's keep the growth happening. I can't imagine after 2 years, going into year 3, where this is going. I anticipate a huge leap for him and his foundation. He's done some amazing things, and I can't imagine where it's going to be in 5 years. I'm hoping I'm around in 5 years to see and appreciate all the hard labor and the efforts everybody's put in. But man, it's special, man. It's a special cause. When you hear some of the stories that you're going to hear coming up in the future, just go to a veteran cemetery. I mean, it'll make you cry. You just think about it. You don't know how many died serving our country, but when you get to a veteran cemetery, they served our country with dignity to protect our freedoms. That's the basic concept. We are a free society. We're unlike a lot of other countries around the globe, but man, damn. We like, I'm not going to get into politics, but right now, we can do a lot of self-improvement as a society in our country. I feel like we've kind of gotten away from some of our values to be more patriotic, more respectful to the veterans. So, we can, it can start one charity at a time, one video at a time, one attempt at a time, one relationship at a time. I'm trying to build a relationship with this gentleman who is a potential candidate for Mission 22. I failed in my effort to supply him some blue crabs. I might have really changed his day and made him happy, made him feel like he has a sense of value. Somebody cares about him. That's what we got to do. So I'm going to challenge each one of you. Go out and find somebody you can uplift. Can you uplift another American veteran? Can you go visit that veteran? Can you take him to the grocery store? Can you take him to a park? Can you take him fishing? Can you take him hunting? Can you just sit and listen to him? It's like a lot of these people no longer have anybody to talk to. And I kind of know like that feeling right now. When I was on top of the world, everybody wanted to talk to me. Everybody wanted to talk to me. Now, I'm in Marianas Trench, right now. If you don't know what that is, research it. And the Marine Corps will probably remind you where that is. But I'm not in the Marine Corps. It's so funny, as we're talking, I just noticed the disabled American veteran has just replied. I did not see the message. He's just replied, but try and do your part. Do your part. It's crazy. Can you visit a VA hospital? Can you do something? Go talk to them. How can I volunteer? Can I wheel out a veteran to enjoy an afternoon in the sunshine? Can I take him a sandwich? What can you do? Expand your thought process, but find a way to help a damn veteran. That's my message. You know what I mean? It's like crazy. I watched this guy recently, a famous guy who's all in support of veterans. He's apparently a professional comedian, but his messages are very strong. Guy's name, I think, is Zach Rushing, right? Go watch that guy because he is so passionate about helping veterans that I want to be that same dude. I want to have that same passion. As long as I'm vertical and I'm not pushing up daisies, man, I want the rest of my life to be of purpose. Because I feel like to this point, I feel like it's almost been worthless. I'm trying to develop relationships that are positive and do positive things for people, and it's crazy. Something else happened today. It was more like on I don't know how to say this, try and be polite, but someone tried to push their spiritual beliefs on me and wouldn't let it go. Kind of invaded my privacy, and I have beliefs on that. But anyway, so right now I'm gonna have to tap out because G Money has to urinate. Anyway, cut that part out. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you guys later, folks. I appreciate you guys tuning in. That's how I feel, man. That's exactly how I feel. Coming to you straight, live, and with passion.